Another episode of Success Never Sleeps, sponsored by My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. Hey, Brannon Beliso here. You living your best life. It is Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast. This is Success Never Sleeps. I am, as always, Brannon Beliso. As you come aboard, do say hello. Let me know that you're here, you're tuning in. Make sure that you share this live broadcast with everybody, which we are airing here at Facebook as well as YouTube. YouTube. Not MeTube, not WeTube, YouTube. Go over to YouTube and make sure you're there. Say hello and where are you from? Put in, hey, James, what's happening? Sure. Bushido Academy, Aurora, Colorado. All right. So I want to begin by thanking my sponsors as always. They make this whole show possible. We have My Studio. I believe simply the most innovative in CRM systems, app-based, always growing, always bettering their product. And I think that's really when we talk about technology, that is vital, that is crucial, and that is what it's all about. Right? If you're not working with a CRM company that doesn't have updates every week, every month, all the time, then you're not working with a great company. And we know that's the challenge, right? How many of us move from one CRM platform to another? Why? Two reasons. Number one, they do nothing to update their product and it becomes obsolete. Number two, their customer service is really poor. So if I'm looking for two things in a CRM system, I'm looking for someone that's constantly innovating and updating. Think about it. I get them on my phone every other week now, for my iPhone, right? Got another update. Get on my computer, got another update. That's very standard. So when you're looking for a great CRM system, don't look for one that's perfect. Look for one that's constantly evolving, constantly growing, right? That constantly communicates with you and sees what is it that we need out of their system. That's what I think is powerful. Number two is customer service, real good customer service. Of course, kids love life skills, right? We've really learned during this pandemic what's helped a lot of schools doing virtual online is have really amplified their life skills system. That's imperative. What separates from soccer and baseball and any other child's activity out there is the fact that we teach life skills, but you cannot simply paint discipline on the wall and think that you teach discipline. Or maybe haphazardly pull out some story about when you were fighting in a tournament at 7 years old and how you learned discipline. Much like your curriculum, your life skills system should be very structured, very systematic, and something that's consistent. So do look at kids with life skills. And last but not least, LC Accounting. Need a great bookkeeper. What I love about my sister, she's a martial artist, but she cares. She goes to bat for her clients time and time again. And she's put me in my place many times when I start spending too much money. I think it's important because many of us are very undisciplined with those types of things, that you have a bookkeeper that's on top of it. If you don't, it's very easy to go awry and spend more money than you make and find yourself in debt, and more debt. Cool? All right. So what are we going to give away today? The winner of today's, for sharing this, make sure you share this live broadcast with everybody that you can. Put it in the comments that you've shared. And what happens is you're entered into a drawing to win a 30-minute phone call with me. And they're really fun. Discovery phone calls. I did one the other day with Alvin, and it was very eye-opening. But when we get off the phone, like I tell everybody, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. The reason you're in business is because you have a very clear way how you want to do business. You have a very clear vision. And that is the key to empowerment. And I was sharing that earlier because we really are drowning in information and starving for wisdom. I remember about 5-6 years ago when I started this show in another incarnation, I literally was the only one out there in our industry doing this type of show. I know that for a fact. Now, it's not, ooh, Brannon, you're the first person. Who cares? It doesn't matter who started it. It's who's doing it the best today, who's serving our industry best today. That's all that matters. But now I see so many people, and a lot of it's great information. Please don't get that wrong. There's some real high-end operators out there giving out lots of great information. But what we lack is the wisdom. That wisdom is, who are you? Why are you here? What's your purpose? And what is your goals, right? It's not the destination. I get it's the journey and all that, but if I don't know who I am and I don't know what I need and I don't understand what the challenges are, then I'm not sure which information I should take and apply so it becomes knowledge. And that's the wisdom, right? That I think it's O.H. Smith or something. I thought Roland Osborne coined that saying, but it was somebody else. O.W. Smith, it might be, right? We're drowning in information and starving for wisdom. For example, if my roof is leaking into the kitchen and I see it leaking, who am I going to call? A roofer or a plumber? Well, I need a little more information. Okay, so I take a look and go up into the attic. There's no pipes in the attic. All the pipes run under my house. Okay, well, now that I know there's no pipes over the kitchen, what does that tell me? It's the roof. So great, I know my roof is leaking. Am I going to call a baker or a landscaper? No, because I'm now from gathering a certain amount of information. I understand my roof is leaking. There's no pipes up there. I need a roofer. Done day. See, but if you don't know who you are, then it's very easy to grab any information out there and you run with it in your school and then you end up haphazardly doing it and you get rid of it. How many of you have done that before? Raise your hand and put it in the comments. Yeah, right. We've all done that. And that's because when you don't know who you are, you go to these conventions, you see something, oh, new and shiny, and a good salesman. So you buy this program, get back to your school and go, why'd I do that? Right? We've all done that at least once. I know I have. I know I have. No one's going to hang with me on that one. Is that just me? No one's going to hang with me? Come on now. Come on now. Hey, lots of people coming aboard. As you do, please say hi. I love to know who's hanging out with us. I love that Pamela's with us every week now, just about. And that's cool. I love when new faces come aboard, become part of the tribe. I love to see who's out there. Don't just hang in the wings. Be part of this thing called life. Hang with us. Yeah, we've all been there and done that. And that's because we don't know who we are. Now, because I'm very clear, live your best life. Everything we do, hey, Bal, what's happening, sir? Everything that we do really centers around Jason, you got to go to a doctor's appointment, but hey, man, thank you for stopping by. I love it, Jason. Thank you. Conrad, Respect Martial Arts, Agoura Hills, California. I love Raven's board break. That was super cool. I just watched the video you posted. Maximum Martial Arts, Jim and Connie. Just you today, Jim. And you just had an anniversary recently, right, sir? Something like that, if I'm not wrong. Super cool. Happy belated anniversary if I didn't wish that to you. So really spend the time in understanding what is that wisdom, right? Because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a perspective. Everybody can tell you how to run your life. It's so much easier to do that than run your own life, right? Oh man, we've all known somebody like that. We've probably suffered from that ourselves. We've got the answers for everybody else, but our life is in a shambles, right? Bow, thanks for the honesty on our call. Good, because you guys are partnering up, and I think that's really, 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 really cool. Really, really cool that you're partnering up in our It's Time group mentoring, as I suggested. So we've all been there. So I'm encouraging you, take that time. Take that time. Any great company will always sit collectively and go, why are we doing this? Because nobody is going to wake up and go, how am I going to make a lot of money? They will wake up and be passionate about making a difference and fulfilling your why, which is live your best life in our case. So we can do that, then we really create that team, that very unique team that they understand the byproduct. We will make money, but we don't put money first. We put people first. We put our purpose first. We put our why first. And the byproduct is you will make a lot more money down the road, a lot more money, right? Instead of simply going, I want to make money. I want to make money. So get me 10 students, get me 10 students, get me 10 students. And then you spend all of your money going from Facebook guru to Facebook guru to Facebook guru, from consultant to consultant to consultant, because you don't know thyself. And you spend your time letting everybody else tell you who you are, then you end up in a place of resentment and you don't follow through, or you execute it haphazardly. Then when it doesn't work, the consultant says you didn't do it right, right? The ad guru says you didn't do it right. Well, spend that time learning about yourself. Know who you are. Why are you here? What are your purpose? Cool? So you're not just simply drowning in information, but you truly are filling your belly with the wisdom that you need to be a better version of yourself. Cool? All right, K1. Let's get the first question of today. And more people are coming in. As you come in, please say hello. Let us know that you're here. So, what would you ask a commercial property landlord before signing a lease? Shauna, that's a great question. I'm going to use that because I was on a Facebook Leaders Network um, call yesterday, and they said that every time somebody asked a question, they used, I don't know, Seminar 101. You want to always say, that's a great question. Yeah. So I realize because sometimes I'll tell you, that's a really dumb question. So I'll try to be a little more politically correct today. What would you ask a commercial property landlord before signing a lease? Well, before I sign a lease, I would run it by a lawyer. Bottom line, bottom line. And I would ask that lawyer to find all the hidden things. Because if you look at a lease, it's like a freaking, you know, it's as thick as a Bible. And you want to pay close attention to the fine print. We've heard that horror story in so many arenas with contracts, everything. Please pay attention to the fine print. But when you get to the fine print, it's freaking Latin. Thee, thou art the of the day. And you're like, what? So, what you really want to do is write down exactly what you need to know, right? And some of the things we always run up against is like the HVAC system. That's a big one. And if you're in one of the really warmer places like Texas or Florida, you want to know what is your accountability, because that HVAC system, if it goes down completely, can be up in the tens of thousands of dollars. So you want to know what is your responsibility if that thing breaks, because that's a vital part of your business, right? You want to look at things like if they sell the building, is your lease still going to be honored? Different things like that. If you're planning to buy the building down the way, can I put in the lease the first option to buy this thing at a reasonable competitive rate, whatever's going on out there? So there's so many variables, but ultimately I'm going to put it in the hands of a real estate lawyer, not a real estate guy. Please don't do that. I got a cousin that sells real estate. Please don't do that. Ultimately, I don't put my signature on anything until I have a lawyer look at it. It's something as important as a lease. You want to make sure it's there. Look for things like, especially here in California, we have ADA, right? The American Disability Act. When I moved into this second property and opened a second location, I had to paint the whole parking lot. I had to put in a $5,000 handicap door opener. Wow, I wasn't planning for that in my budget, but the law is any new tenant coming through the door will most likely get hit with the ADA upgrades. I heard of a horror story of a school owner out in, I don't know where it was, but he had to put in a $30,000 bathroom. Right? So you really want to pay attention to stuff like that, Shauna. But ultimately, other than reading things on, and you Google it right now, somebody Google it, boom, right? Signing a commercial lease, what to look for. That information's there. So I'm going to encourage you, Shauna. I know you posted it at our Disruptor group, and I love you for that, trusting the tribe. But as I saw all the different opinions coming in, I want to go, time's up, pencils down. Please take it to a lawyer. Bottom line, because everybody's basing their experiences, their data upon the experiences they had. And they might have had a bad experience with a lawyer in Colorado. Someone had a good experience with a lawyer in New Hampshire. Guess what? I'm in California. Your laws don't mean diddly to me. Okay? So I want to be very mindful of that to make sure that ultimately, Shauna, do your homework, gather real data, not opinion on this one, because it is legal, Shauna. It's a very legal situation. So I would go to something like legalzoom.com, things like that. And ultimately, I would spend the money now with a commercial lawyer. And that's the only way I'll run a commercial property lawyer, not even a regular, person who sells a house. That's different law. That's a whole different thing. So there's an example, right? There's an example. So that's my thought. Finding out what my marketing company is not doing what they claim. Would be nice if K1 would do a course, maybe ongoing training program or some kind of guidance on how to do it ourselves. Yeah, I mean, Stephanie Seidel of Elevate Martial Arts just took an online course. The thing about that, and K1 I will both vouch for that, the terrain changes all the time, James. It changes all the time. And yesterday, James, I took a marketing course with two people from Facebook. And so that was really, really cool. It was about an hour-long course, and it was how to present yourself to the media. And the one thing, my biggest takeaway from that, James, is please know your story. right? Because it's really bad to do a social media post at Facebook and you're singing that, we're red, white, and blue. Then you go over to Instagram and you're orange and pink. Then you go over here to LinkedIn and you're black and gray. Then you go over here, you see, and that's just, very raw. So again, going back to the why and you being that storyteller is really refine your message. Make no mistake. I finish with, so what are we going to go out and do? Live your best life. What do I do in all of my talks? Hey, Brannon Beliso here. You living your best life? It's a constant. If people ask me in the elevator pitch, what do you do? I help people, teams, businesses, startups, and companies live their best life. It's very clear. So I think that's the important part, James, to begin with and settle. But yeah, in November, in the 4-day experience, I'm going to have K1 do an hour. We're going to do it for just the 20 people and we're going to talk about it. But we're going to tell you consistently when we're done that these best practices change all the time. We're finding right now, the climate is to move into Google ads. And more people are looking at that because Facebook became so cheap at the beginning of the pandemic for advertising. It's really saturated. So a lot of people have moved to Instagram. We're also looking at YouTube advertising now. And to get better leads, I'm going to go to Google. So right now we're focusing on our Google reviews, James. We need to be up to 100, at least 100 at each location, right? To have that social proof. And then we're going to post more at the business part because we have a business. And make sure you set up your business account with Google. How many of you have that? Tell me you do. You have your Google business page. Make sure that's set up. That's important because we find if I'm scrolling through my news feed on my phone like this at Facebook and I see a martial arts school ad pop up in Colorado, it doesn't mean anything to me. Nothing. But they know that I'm a martial artist, blah, 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 blah. Facebook has all that data for my behaviors, the martial artist, da, da, da. So I get martial arts posts all the time. I'm going, this is irrelevant. I have no need to take martial arts in Colorado because I'm here. You feel me? So when you go to something like Google and I'm looking up martial arts San Francisco, I like coming up right top there an ad, sponsored ad. Then right below that, I want the 5 stars, James. Those 5 stars. And that only requires 9 good reviews, 9 5-star reviews. And that'll pop up as an additional thing when people are searching and your school pops up. Is that cool? But it's all those little things that all add up. Good. Jason, we do and post daily on Google Business. Good for you. And you find that's working. Jason's school is growing in ways he never thought it could. Right. But it's everything, right, Jason? It's not just me as your mentor. It's not just the programs. It's everything. Everything. Right. It's not one thing. It's everything. Right. It is. Hey, Kat, what's happening? Immortal Tiger Kempo Karate, Austin, Texas. Yeah, right, James? You'd rather pay my lawyer to review than defend. I love that. I love that. But I do highly recommend that to everybody here. I've sang that song from the beginning, James, and I'll continue to sing that song. You are the storyteller. You are the architect of your business. You need to be the one to go out there and cultivate this. We work very closely with a small marketing group right now because they place our ads, the nuts and bolts. They monitor the ads. They look at the insights. We're creative people. That's where we want to live. So we cultivate this. But make no mistake, the daily stuff you see K1 do, just friend us. Friend us at One Martial Arts, Millbrae Friends and Family, or San Francisco Friends and Family. Look at my Brannon account. Look how much content we post on a daily basis. That can be done by one person. But we need to be on the same page. A lot of the stuff that gets posted, I don't even write it. K1 looks at it and goes, oh, that's really good. Brannon posted that. Then he looks close and realizes he's the one who wrote it and posted it. So I think the other thing that's a huge detriment, especially to martial arts school owners, you take some high school kid that's big on TikTok and Instagram and you let them start doing your social media, you know, and you want to pay attention to that, James. You go look at your post from one of your high school kids who, at TikTok, and they go, come to my martial arts school. And you're like, hey, what the heck is that? Because they don't get your why. They're just some young kid that knows how to work TikTok, right? So be very mindful of that. Yeah. Yeah, I do need to train in Colorado. I knew you were going to say that, James. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. All right, next question, please. Mike, Okay, professor, I'm not sure if you can help me. I have a legal question. No, I can't help you. That's it. I mean, that's why you put that there, Mike. I'm not sure if you can help me. I have a legal question. That's why you put that. You've answered your own question. I cannot help you. I have an opinion. So let me finish reading your question. All right. If you have an assistant instructor or a sub instructor, you are not present. Create a liability while instruction, like injuring a student. What are the legal ramifications of this and how do you cover yourself? Well, Mike, I do know anybody that steps on my mat and teaches is covered under my policy. I think what I would do with that, I would reach out to Beth Block as far as the insurance part of that. Okay, Beth can support you on the insurance part. Now, if you're legally being sued by somebody or being threatened to be sued, you call a lawyer. Do not email this person. Do not say, I'm sorry. Do none of that. Do none of it. I have been in that position once where in day camp, we were doing summer day camp. For some reason, the team forgot to feed this kid 2 snacks and a lunch. Okay. They were passing out the lunches. It was a busy camp. And why the kid didn't raise his hand and say, I don't have my food, I don't know. But that's irrelevant. So the mother came back to us and she said in an email, this is child endangerment, child abuse, and those are really strong legal words, right? Very strong legal words. Child abuse, child endangerment. So she sent me an email, and the first thing she said is, I want an apology from you. I want you to admit you're wrong, and I want you to tell me how you're going to correct this moving forward so other kids don't end up endangered or abused. So I looked at that, and do you think I replied to that email? What do you think? Of course I didn't. Absolutely not. And she left us a scathing review, one of my only 1-star reviews at different things. She even went to the Better Business Bureau, all of the above. But the first thing I did was put it in the hands of a lawyer. And you guess what the lawyer told me? I am so grateful you didn't say sorry because when the minute you apologize, you are admitting fault. Fault. Okay? So be mindful of that. And we all understand. Can you share the name of the marketing group you work with? James, I'm going to hold off on that. And here's why. Uh, we've worked with other marketing groups, and the big thing I tell them, get me real results. And they say, well, how do you define real results? I said, number one is a relationship that honors my why. And you're not going to give me a bunch of copy that's, emoji ridden that I don't like, a bunch of stock photos, a bunch of stock videos. We'll do the work. We'll shoot videos for you. We'll give you whatever you need. Right. So once we develop this relationship, and we're seeing it, I mean, Kara and I will admit we're getting lots of leads, but we're trying to get past leads into quality leads. So cultivating a relationship in an environment that can have that. And if it does, then we'll let you know who this marketing group is. But like anything, I don't want to put my John Hancock on it, give my stamp of approval unless I have real data, real data. So I'm going to hold off on that from now. Right. And we are. K1, I know for a fact, you guys, now I'm in a little different position. I know I'm one of the only martial arts schools that has a full-time social media person with K1 and have a full-time web designer. They only work for me. They only work for me. And that's because I saw early in the game that all these marketing guys, and you know who they are, their video pops up or you're in a Zoom. First thing they do is they have a library behind them. Bad day. Second, they got the really cool yellow computer glasses, and they'll have a computer in front of you, like an Apple. And then they have one book up on the shelf facing the camera with a little spotlight on it. And if it's a marketing person, it'll be a Russell Brunson book, right? If it's a motivational coach, blah, 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 they'll have something like Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or Grant Cardone sitting behind them, right? Because they want instant credibility. Run from those people, please, because they simply took a course. And that course says you need instant cred. So co-brand with somebody strong, somebody big, have a library behind you so they look, ooh, you're so intelligent. You read all those books. They probably never read those books. Even scarier, it could be a green screen and you don't even know that, right? So we're cultivating our own marketing team because we want to control our brand. Here's the other reason why I'm going to tell you that's super important. Unless you're like us with e-learning products and we're reaching all over the world with my consulting, you're fundamentally trying to control and influence a 3 to 5 mile radius of your brick and mortar location. Everybody agree with me? Brick and mortar. So that's why it makes no sense unless I'm doing virtual online classes all over the United States and the world to concern myself with anything more than the 3 to 5 mile radius. And that you want to create lookalike audiences. Who are they? Who's your demographic? Where do they eat, play, sleep, hang out? I want to own that 3 to 5 mile radius. And I understand, James, I don't market one way to 70 people. I market 70 ways to 70 people. Okay. So again, going back to that question, I want you to be very mindful, create opportunities. We just did K1 and I backed up the Millbrae Educational Foundation. They did a silent auction online. Right? Well, not silent, but they did this whole. And normally, it's an event at a hotel with 450 people. I kid you not, and they raised over $100,000. I learned we did that virtually. So talk about free press. Plus, we're supporting the community. Plus, right? So we look for those opportunities. That's why I know I was the first guy in the martial arts industry to have cotton candy machines. Some people hated me for it, said I was a diabetic sugar promoting guy. Other people saw the brilliance in it, right? And we would do little league openers. We would do back to school nights, anywhere, movie nights in the park, anywhere they wanted this cotton candy for free, which is very cheap to operate. We're out there wearing One Martial Arts t-shirts. So you look for everything you can, James, within a 3 to 5 mile radius of your brick and mortar location to promote your brand. I would rather do a free confidence building workshop for the Girl Scouts than a paid one, because that's part of my advertising dollar as far as I'm concerned. You feel me? And so going back to that other question, I know I got a bit on a tangent there. Mike, bottom line is you better have good insurance. You better have good insurance to cover. If that instructor injured one of your students, I'd say, one finger pointed you, three pointed back at me. I didn't train that guy well, number one. He doesn't understand clearly what are my systems, what are my guidelines, what are do's and don'ts. And if he physically injured your student, it's on you. You probably have the wrong guy teaching. He wasn't trained right, all the rest. And please tell me you have insurance that covers him. And if you don't, and you're getting legal emails and things like that, I hope you didn't apologize or put it in writing. Please don't do that. Not until you've spoken to a lawyer and let the lawyer take care of it. See, and I know we get lost up in that stigma of, lawyers are just out to rip you off. Lawyers are just out to rip you off. If that was the pure case, there wouldn't be all the lawyers in the world. There wouldn't. But I understand when it comes to lawyers, it's not who's right and it's not who's wrong. It's who has the best lawyer. How many people that lied, that committed a crime, got off? We hear that all the time. How many innocent people go to jail because they had a bad lawyer, and then DNA finds out 20 years later, this guy never raped that woman? It happens all the time. Just please understand, if you're asking me, a martial arts school owner, a legal question, I would have to go back to the drawing board with my own personal mindset and understand I wouldn't ask any martial artist, any martial arts school owner, a legal question. Ever, 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 ever. But why do we do that? Because we want allies. So we want everybody to tell us, no, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. That's a bad instructor. Da, da, da. No, you need somebody to tell you, don't ask me that freaking question. Mike, go talk to a lawyer, especially if you have dialogue going on with the student's parents who's been injured. And please just don't reply. Don't reply like that, okay? Cool. Next question. Marco, we still have people coming in because they saw us giving out cotton candy at their kids' school event. This was over a year ago before the pandemic. Yeah. I mean, and that's it. And honestly, a little bit of sugar is not going to kill anybody. It's not, it's the parent. If they don't want them to have the cotton candy, they won't let them have it. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. And I think the cotton candy was brilliant, but a lot of people in our industry was very upset at me. They were very upset at me. They blocked me and unfriended me, and they were pissed off. They even attacked me. People, one person in particular, I don't want to say their name, but they knew me for a long, long time. Long time. And I have great respect for the person until now, but they were very unhappy with me. And that's okay. See, that's part of innovation and disruption. You have to boldly go where no one else has gone before. And that means pissing off people, getting dirty, making mistakes, but it's okay. That's what makes life fun, right? That's what makes life fun. I think so. All right. Next question, K1. And if you have a question, please put it in there. Hey, Herman, what's happening, Herman? Jason's there. Maximum Marshall. Am I missing anybody? I see lots of people sitting there. You people sitting there up in the little eyeball in the corner, please say hello. Tell us who you are, where you're tuning in from, and share this live broadcast right now. And you'll be entered into a digital drawing to win 30 minutes of a discovery call with me. With me. All right, put the next question. Emily, I have seen similar to us. You are living and operating your schools in a state with strong COVID protocols. How often are you disinfecting your floors? Not equipment, just floors. Thank you very much, Emily. That's a great question, right? As they were saying yesterday, I kept hearing that. Every time somebody answered a question in this Facebook leaders group, it was, hey, that's a great question. All right. You gotta bleep me. You gotta bleep me. Came on when I say that's a stupid question. Gotta bleep me, okay? Um, so we disinfect the floor between every class. Yeah, and it really is. We have one of those, those spraying machines like a bug sprayer, right? You see it, they spray plants and stuff with it, and it's just got a mixture of water with a little pine sol. Or yeah, Lysol or Pine Sol, one of the two. I think it's Pine Sol. Yeah, Pine Sol. And that's because it's been proven to kill anything on the mat. So we just spray a little bit. It doesn't have to be soaking wet. And we just mop it real quickly, with one of those dust mops, the real thin towel, not a heavy mop. And we just spot it. But now they're saying, again, Emily, I am going to say you need to talk to your local Department of Public Health. Know the orders that's going on. So what they said to us now, you don't have to clean but once at the end of the day. Okay, there was a time they told us every time somebody goes in and out of a bathroom, you have to wipe it down. Now, depending what state you're in, even what county you're in, Emily, they're going to tell you you need to do this. And the reason I think that's so important to follow your state and local protocol is because if you get sued and you didn't follow the guidelines, guess what? You're going to lose. We currently have COVID insurance, which is going to be null and void next time we renew our policy because they're looking at that COVID insurance that we bought, that we spent an extra $1,000 on last year in our insurance policy. There's just too much going on. They're going to get that insurance company is going to lose big time. So we're going to be on our own. And I know most people here probably don't have COVID insurance. So if you get sued for any kind of COVID related incident, the only leg you have to stand on, Emily, is that you followed all the guidelines. What's my first right? Da, 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 da. You can sing that song all day long in a court of law. The bottom line is if you were told by the state to wear masks in your business, and you're conducting business indoors, outdoors, wherever, you better wear a mask. Somebody just hit me up at Facebook in a private message at our school page. We've had people comment harshly, but this person asked, do you make children wear masks when they train? And my answer was, we follow the California state mandate, in particular San Francisco, which requires everybody to wear masks when they're in our facility, outdoor facility, training with us. That was my answer because it's the mandate. It's the mandate. Now, I could choose to say, F you and do whatever I want, right? The light is red. Legally, I'm supposed to stop. Well, it's my free right to do whatever I want. I'm in America. So I'm going to run the red light. I risk getting hit by another car. I risk a police officer pulling me over and giving me a ticket, right? Cause and effect. So I can sing that song and do whatever I want in my business. And I've seen many schools do that, butcher paper their windows and they're teaching classes anyways. That's all well and fine. Somebody gets sick, somebody dies of COVID because of it, you're in big trouble. Make no mistake. Ask Beth Block. She's always big, she's Block Insurance. She will tell you, err on the side of caution. I think it's just prudent. It's just prudent. So, in relation to that, I would clean my floors in between every class. I would rather do more than less. And so we do. We do. And I think it offers for our parents, they feel better about who we are. So we temperature check. We ask the three questions. I wear two masks because that would say recommended. I wear the KN95 and I wear a cloth mask. Great. If you tell me I shouldn't wear masks anymore, I won't. I won't. And the debate will go on for years about this. Mask, no mask. Vaccine, no vaccine. Clean your floor, don't clean your floor. The bottom line, if you get sued and you're not following the protocols of your county and state, I believe you put yourself in a very precarious position. Cool? All right. Quick break here. Let's thank our sponsors once again. We got My Studio, we got Kids Love Life Skills, and we have LC Accounting. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Thank you so much to my sponsors. Again, please share this live broadcast with as many people as you can, and you're entered into our drawing to win a 30-minute discovery call with me, Brannon Beliso. Cool. What else we got coming up, K1? It's Time Life Change. Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it. If you're coming to It's Time Life Change, put it in the comments. We're really focusing right now on the 4-day portion, the 4-day retreat, and 20 people. I know we can do it. California, people are going back to school, all that's happening. And if for some reason in November it can't happen, a full refund, a full refund. And that's a promise, okay? That's a promise. So the 4-day event is an exceptional experience because I understand being a small business owner, I can't just be great at leadership. I can't just be great at systems. I can't just be great at curriculum design. I can't just be great on team building. I can't just be great on social media. I can't just be great on creating a mindset. It's all of those things. It's all of those things. So the experience we try to create in 4 days is just that. Plus, to create that network, an intimate network of 20 people that are going to become friends. And I can honestly say many people that have come to the 4-day event are still friends. They still network together. They work together because over 4 days, you build this sense of trust and you build these relationships that you want to invest in and spend more time in. I know I have, and everybody else does. The problem for me when I go to big conventions, I have literally thousands of people talking to me in my booth, in and out all day long. That's a huge challenge. Yeah, it's $249. That's exactly what you get. $249. So you come to an experience like this for 4 days, it's really amazing. I mean, we've done it for 6 years now. It's our 9th one, something like that, and it's powerful, 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 powerful. And as a facilitator and a teacher, I learn as much as I give. And it's truly amazing. Truly amazing. All right, cool. Yeah, Alvin, you're very welcome. Me and Alvin had a great talk, on our discovery call. I was driving out to visit my instructor and my dad. I call him my dad. And so I had time in the car and it was just, I love when the stars align like that. I was going to K1. Is there anybody I owe a discovery call to? You know, because I'll be making this long drive out to Antioch and I'd love to take the call. Guess what? I'm sitting there before I leave. Alvin pops up in my messenger going, "Hey, sir, I won the 30-minute call. When can I get that scheduled?" I said, "How about now?" And lo and behold, Alvin said, "Yay." And we sat down and we were able to talk for a good amount of time, which was a lot of fun. And like I told Alvin at the end, though, it's up to him. He's got to figure out what works for him. I can't tell him that. I can give him advice. I can share my experiences, but ultimately Alvin's got to do what Alvin's got to do, right? Yeah, James, find a way to be here. Marco's going to be here. Jason's going to be here. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. Next question, K1. Cool. All right. Best way to respond to a parent that doesn't want to bring her kid in because of bad grades. I need a good way to write it out to tell her to come anyway and don't punish the kid because of his grades. Edit. It's a trial class they're scheduled for. Well, Justin, I'm a parent and realize you and I don't really have a relationship yet either. All right. You haven't earned the trust of this parent. And I'm going to say this, I recently, I took one of my black belts on a walk because the parent asked me to. And this kid's been with us since he was knee high to a grasshopper, and now he's 15 years old. So see the trust there? But that relationship was built over a decade. I honestly, I'm going to tell you as simple as I can with this, sir. It's not your place to tell a parent what to do with their child. You can move. This thing's making me crazy. Move it out of there, K1. Bring me back in. Okay, ready? Dramatic. Here we go. Move into the camera. It is not your responsibility to tell a child what to do with their. Wait, see? Okay, wait, rewind. Try again. Ready? Okay, ready? And scene. It is not your job to tell a parent what to do with their child. Cool? And I'm going to say that as clearly as I can, Justin, because this is a trial. It's a trial. But I understand, right? We want that trial. I don't want that trial. I don't want that trial. I want a relationship. And you know what that relationship would say? It would say, excellent, ma'am. I respect your choice. But please know, we're going to be right here waiting for you when you're ready to bring your son in. And we're going to have a great time, I promise you. And then I would follow up with maybe an email every so many weeks or a postcard saying, you know, thank you for that opportunity. We'd love to fulfill it at some point, etc. Because the one thing I want to make sure in any relationship is that I respect your opinion. I respect your choices. I value that. This is a trial, Justin, sir. Please be very mindful of that. You don't really have a relationship with them yet. And you're going to tell the mom, don't punish their kid for bad grades? We are done. Because, you know, you roll up in my neighborhoods and you say that to a mom, don't punish your child for bad grades. You know what that mom would say to you? Get up in my business. Don't tell me how to handle my kid. Go work. I mean, it would be a bad day in my neighborhood, a bad day. So I want you to think about that, okay? That, again, for me, is a mindset shift. See? You want to write this mom. You want to tell her, don't punish the kid for bad grades. You want to tell this mom to bring her kid in anyways. That's your mindset, sir. And that's a mindset that I would encourage you to shift. We're here as a servant of the community, not as a child psychologist, not as a counselor to tell this parent what to do with their child. Ooh, bad day, sir. I'm a parent with a 9 and 12-year-old. You told me that, you and I would have a bad day, especially if I don't know you and I've just scheduled a trial. Your trial means nothing to me compared with teaching my kid to make good choices, teaching my kid that there's cause and effect. You get bad grades, you lose privileges. You're going to supersede that because you want them to come in for a trial? Bad day, sir. Bad day. Okay? Immortal Tiger. Texas removed their mask mandate, but I am still requiring masks because it's not worth the risk until we're all better vaccinated. I don't want to be the place spreading COVID. Yeah, I heard there was a whole argument about that because I guess one school I know, because the mask mandate has been removed, the people who don't wear masks are coming to class. The people who do wear masks don't want to be around them. So now he's lost half his school because the people with masks said, see ya, we'll come back when, at another date. So that's a very tough place to be in because if you say, you all must wear masks, then the people who don't want to wear masks are standing at your front door going, no, no, no. The governor said it's a mandate. I don't have to wear a mask. And I read through that whole thing, Kat, and I know, it's our business. We can do what we want, but it says nobody can refuse them service or anything anymore. Please check on that. Again, I know I read it somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but it said nobody can refuse you service in a market or a restaurant or anywhere, if you choose not to wear a mask. I don't know. I don't know about that. This is such a unique time, right? This is such a unique time that we're in, that being politically correct, crossing your T's, dotting your I's is a real difficult thing to do for us as human beings, let alone as a business. So again, if I know what my values are, and I'm going to stand up for my values, not my opinion, not what I think, but real values such as integrity to do the right thing, right? Those types of values. Then sink or swim. When the day's done, you'll be okay when you put your head down on the pillow, right? This is what I believe is the right thing. Cat saying, I'm going to wear masks. Okay. I saw somebody, a buddy of mine posted today, vaccines won't be good until 15, 20 years. Okay. Right? Because they have to go through different testings and trials and animals and this and that and this and that and this and that. Okay. Maybe so. Maybe so. That again is an opinion. And it might be one doctor's opinion. And then I can find another doctor that will say otherwise. So if I can find someone singing black that's reputable, I can find someone singing white that's reputable. How do I make a decision? I have to follow my own value system. And I live with the consequences that come with that. Okay? Some people will get vaccinated, some won't. Again, I can find reports that say this vaccine is perfectly rock and roll. I find the report over here said the vaccine is classical music. Okay. So what's going to determine whether I do it or not? My own personal value system. That's it. That's it. And it's the same thing here in Cat. If you want to make people wear masks, and again, you're in Austin. I know Austin's a little different than other parts of Texas, right? And I'm very aware of that from everything I'm studying. Cool? Yeah, and that debate's going to go on and on and on and on. I mean, forever, forever, ever, forever, ever, and ever, because people will have an opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they stink. And that's when the day's done because those opinions aren't based upon a value system. They're based upon anger, frustration. They're based upon ego, insecurity. They're based upon the need to fight and be a troll. They're never really based upon strong, healthy things. So when the day's done, I just need to sit in a quiet place, let go of all of the social media, all the news I watch, and just sit with myself as a human being and, reflect and go, well, what is really the best decision for my family and me? What's really the best? And whatever it is, I'll do that. Sometimes I take one for the team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. And that's just my rant about that because there's so much right now. So much, everything you read. And it's consuming. I believe it derails me from being the best version of myself. And it's a tough one. Like right now, the whole Asian hate crime thing. Somebody said, don't talk about it. That's why there's more of it. I'm like, okay, that's one opinion. But I remember when my wife's grandmother, and has nothing to do with what's going on right now, she was drop kicked at a bus stop. She was in her 70s and she's passed away now, God rest her soul. She was 70 something standing at a bus stop, and some kid, a teenager, ran up and drop kicked her. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I believe that type of behavior is something that is hard to address, right? It's hard to address. And I just want to share that because I saw somebody else post, it's a great opportunity for us to do a self-defense workshop for the elderly. And I'm going, dude, you have nothing how to teach an old person how to defend themselves. You know what I learned? Number one, run in a pack. There's power in numbers. All these attacks have been on people alone. That's data. I was a perfectly healthy teenager, right? Perfectly healthy teenager. I ran in a pack because I didn't want to get beat up by a rival gang. There's power in numbers, right? But we can go on and on about that. Cat, let's see. I'm in Texas. Companies are allowed to specify COVID mask requirements per business. Our major grocery still requires masks. Good. That's good. Here in California, I'm allowed to make it mandatory that my employees get a vaccine if they want to work here. I've chosen not to do that because I'm not going to force that on people, right? I've been vaccinated, but if anybody in my team chooses not to do that, I'm not going to fire them or let them go or make them do that. I don't think for me, see, this is my own personal value now. I'm not going to make it mandatory for somebody to put something in their body that they don't agree to, right? But they will wear masks. They'll wear double masks and they will sanitize and they will take their temperature and do those things, right? So again, what is your value system? And so, yeah, if the major grocery still requires masks, then do it. There's always going to be controversy around this stuff forever and ever and ever. And that's part of it. So, how do we, as humanity and small businesses trying to rebuild ourselves, as parents, as families, how do we live our best life and become a better version through it? I can't tell you that. I can't. You got to find that for yourself. And that's the beauty of life. That's the whole beauty of life, is figuring that out and making it work for you. And that's why we're here today, right? You want information so you can apply it to your value system. You want information so that you can go out there and create your life, your version of success. That's cool. But do you have the wisdom to act upon it? That's the cool thing, right? That's the cool thing. All right. I think that's it. Do we have any other questions? Pop them in. Pop them in. Pop them in. Does anybody else have any other questions? Put them in, and then I think we're going to choose our winner. So our winner today is going to get what, K1? A 30-minute discovery call with me, Brannon Beliso. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited for It's Time Life Change. Ooh, it makes the hair stand up on my arms. November 13th through 16th, right here. Millbrae, California, 5 minutes from the airport, 5-minute walk to the hotel. We all know the hotel. I think Sensei Mish said it. He found it somewhere for $60. This hotel is at least $200 a day. Get it booked. We have a great discount. Talk to Letitia with the hotel ourselves. So get that booked for the 4-day. Get it booked now, because the hotel's out, and then reserve your spot. Book your spot, reserve your spot, pay for it. If it doesn't happen, then we will give you a full refund. But ask anyone who's been to the 4-day experience. It's unlike anything in our industry, anything. And it's by design. It's by design. And anyone that's ever came to the 4-day experience has gone off and created a better version of themselves. Their business is better. Their life is better. Everything is better. And that's the cool thing about the work that I do, is if you're a great business person, but you suck as a human being, that's a bad day. You're this great human being that's living in poverty, that's a bad day. So it's really to create that type of life all the way around that offers you that opportunity. And I'll finish with that story. Priceline, Sensei Mish, thank you. You know, this one woman came to me and told me her situation with her school. And you know what I told her to do? Close it. And she said, what? The other consultant said, if I invest in his mega mastermind upgrade super deal program, that he'll help me save my school. I said, yeah, because he's preying upon your fear. And he knows you're afraid. You're on the verge of losing your school. He's like shark in the water. He can smell the blood. So he's going to tell you, spend this money that you don't have, and I will help you save your school. And when it doesn't happen, he'll just say you didn't do it right, right? Because nobody can guarantee the results, and that scares me. But I told her, after having this heart with you, I'm going to tell you, close your school. She goes, wow, you're the first consultant to tell me that. I said, yeah. And today she's happier. You know, she's writing more books and everything's groovy. You know? But of course, when I got off that phone, what did I tell her? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out and do what works for you, right? Here we go. Conrad, have you had resistance from the parents to virtual training for the much younger children, 3, 4, and 5? No. And I'm going to tell you why, Conrad. Our Excellent Kids program was designed with 5 minutes of parent participation right at the end of the class. Guess what we did? Because outdoors, we can't hold the pads for the kids. We can't interact with the kids. We turned that, Conrad, into a 40-minute full parent participation class. And we have waiting lists outdoors in San Francisco for the EK class. Millbrae, the classes are packed. Now we just started indoor a week and a half ago. Those Excellent Kids classes are packed. But now we just moved up to 25%, so we'll be able to put more kids. Because now what's unique about that, Conrad, on virtual, is that the parent is controlling the child. The parent is working with the child. Quality family time. Parent gets off their device from work because they're working at home. They get to engage with their child. And even more than that, Conrad, these unique life skills I'm teaching, we can promote at a higher level because we're talking to the parent about that. Then they do the drill with the child. We talk to the parent, they do the drill. And it's create this really powerful environment. Because before we're really trying to talk to the kids. And we know that some of these life skills that are normally not accessible to a 3 and 4-year-old because of their development, we can now give it to the parent. And then the parent does it with the child in a physical drill. So we've bridged that gap. I saw that right away, Conrad. And we have quite a few virtual EK classes. And when I turn them on and watch the guys, I'm like, yeah, Parents there doing everything with the child, and it's so cool. So that was our solution for that. But if you were to ask me a 3-year-old by themselves on a device, forget it. Won't happen. Simply will not happen. Any other questions? Put them in. Put them in. Yeah, and that just came out of the pandemic because why, Conrad? We are committed to our why of living your best life. There simply was not failure. We simply said, how do we help parents with our preschool, pre-K kids live their best life? Well, full parent participation, virtually outdoor classes. Now we have indoor, right? Had to be full. Yeah, full parent engagement. And it's working so well, so well. And it wouldn't have happened, probably if it wasn't for the pandemic. Yeah. Next question. Jesse, question for you. I'm creating instructor training. What would you see as the order of progression in training, i.e., how to teach, all the proper engagement tools? Number 2, what we teach, understanding the different parts of the class and how to execute each section. 3, systems for class. That is as a whole, bow in, flow of class, etc., etc. Okay. The order of progression, number 1 begins, do they fit your why? That's it. Number 1. If they're not committed to serving the community in every moment to live their best life, they don't get to be part of our instructors training experience. That is number 1. Cultural hiring, Jesse, is your number 1 priority. Number 1. Number 1, sir. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Do not think because somebody's a black belt they're supposed to teach. I have yellow belts that have better potential to being an instructor than some of my black belts. Not everybody is meant to do what we do, and that's okay. After that, I want you to visualize it being a farmer, okay? Being a farmer, Jesse. Do you pick the fruit first? No, you rototill the ground. Okay, great. You rototill the ground. Then what do you do next? You fertilize it, water it, prepare the dirt, get it all ready. Okay, I believe we've already done that because these kids have been training as martial artists for many years, right? They get your why, they get everything about you, and you've decided they're a good cultural fit, right? If I want to plant blueberries, I'm gonna get the best blueberry seeds out there, right? I'm not gonna take any blueberry seeds just because they're available and they're a warm body. No way, Jesse. I'm gonna make sure I get the best engineered blueberry seed in the world. Okay? And then what is step 1 after you fertilize that ground? Okay. Well, for us, number 1, I know they've been doing all this curriculum in class. So we're going to have what's called a junior leader. The junior leader greets people. Junior leader can tie belts. The junior leader can take attendance. And the junior leader will be called upon in class to demonstrate the move. Okay? So good. I planted seeds. I'm watering it. Next thing, it sprouts. Oh, so I'm going to pull some of those bad, what do they call them? Saplings? Is that correct? I'm going to pull those, right? That aren't going to grow. It's obvious. I can see, they're unhealthy. They're not taking to the fertilizer. They're not rooting well. You pull them. And we've done that. We've had kids join our instructors training program, and we've got to ask them to leave because they're not a good fit, right? You can't make that decision right away. So what's the next step? Okay, next step is you hold pads. You can work with one child one-on-one, on and on until eventually you build them up into being an instructor. So Jesse, what I'm going to recommend for you, and I think that question was from the Disruptor page. K1, reach out to Jesse and give him the file, which you guys know if you go to our Disruptor group page, under files is my instructor's training experience that Randy Holman said is worth $100,000. It's free to you. It's there. I don't promote the stuff that sits in files because what I'm trying to teach you to do is to mine data, right? Anybody who joined the Disruptors that has not looked at the files, it's your own damn fault. I'm going to have to make a meme for that, K1. It's your own damn fault, right? It's your own damn fault. There's so much great information. I have one for birthdays and different things sitting in this like gold mine under files in the Disruptors. So be accountable. If you've never looked at the files, what are you going to say? It's my own damn fault. Okay, go look at that. So let Jesse know to look at our first year training instructors experience. Cool? All right. So let's find our winner, K1. Who's the winner of today's 30-minute discovery call with me, Brannon Beliso? Today's winner is Adam Parker, all the way in UK. Our buddy Adam, he's been with us for years now. Adam, you get 30 minutes. We'll coordinate that time. Reach out to K1. He'll get it scheduled. Just like James, I know I owe you one. Reach out to K1. We'll get that scheduled in. Disruptors, give James, not James, give Adam a big hand. Yeah, Adam. So I just want to thank everybody again today for being here. Success Never Sleeps has been with you through this pandemic. It's been here for the past 5 years. Consistency is the key. And somebody was talking about that through the industry. They go, we really admire Brannon Beliso. You have such a loyal following. And I said, that's because I'm a loyal leader. I'm a loyal example. And what that really comes from is the consistency that I am here for you every Friday. I am here for you every time you personal message me. I am here for you every year with It's Time Live, whether it's virtual or in person. I am here for you trying to affect change in our industry. I am here for you to help the small school owner. That's the difference. And that's where you cultivate a culture and a tribe. And we've really learned that through this pandemic. To go from 950 to 700, that's still a good number, 700. How many of you would love 700 students in your two schools? You would. And now we're making our way back up to 770 because we have a very loyal tribe that we continue to give to. Pandemic, good time, bad time makes no difference. We continue to do what? Help people live their best life through our life skills and martial arts programs. So cultivate your culture. It's powerful. Cool? Cool. Thank you, Sensei Mish. Yeah, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Yeah, Adam, I'm glad that works for you, sir. So thank you to my studio, Kids Love Life Skills, and LC Accounting. I am Brannon Beliso. Get signed up for It's Time Life Change. Spots are filling up, right? And if it doesn't happen, then we'll give you a full refund. But if you're ready for the serious change in your life, 4 days is the event. Talk to Jason Smith. He finally moved that needle for a decade. 95 students is all he's ever done. And I believe now he broke 105, heading in at 110. And it may not seem a lot for you, but if you've been stuck at 95 for a decade and all of a sudden in this pandemic you move that needle to 105, that's a good day. Remember, it's built on little victories, not these big brush strokes. Little things add up. Cool? All right, it's time to live change. Get signed up November 13th through 16th. Hotel, get it now. We have those discounts. Talk to Letitia, and like Sensei Mish said, he found it at Priceline for $60. Get it booked. Make it happen. Make it happen and experience the change. Cool? I'm Brannon Beliso. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, until we talk again, what are we going to go out there and do? What are we going to go out there and do? You're going to live your best life.